The search for Nancy Guthrie, the elderly mother of Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie, has taken a deeply unsettling turn. Law enforcement officials in Arizona now say they believe Nancy did not disappear voluntarily. Instead, investigators are operating under the assumption that she may have been abducted. This is not someone who just walked away, the sheriff said during a press briefing. Based on what we know so far, she didn't go willingly. That stark assessment has shifted the tone of the investigation, and the emotional weight of the case, dramatically. A routine day that turned into a nightmare. Nancy Guthrie, described by family and friends as sharp, independent, and cautious, was reported missing after she failed to return home and stopped responding to calls. What initially appeared to be a concerning but possibly explainable absence quickly escalated into something far more serious. Authorities say there were no signs that Nancy planned to leave, no packed belongings, no known conflicts, and no history of wandering or disorientation. That lack of a voluntary explanation is what first raised red flags for investigators. She had plans. She had routines, a source close to the family said. Nothing about her behavior suggested she was preparing to disappear. Why investigators believe she was taken. While officials have been careful not to release sensitive details that could compromise the case, the sheriff confirmed that physical and circumstantial evidence points toward foul play. Among the factors influencing their assessment, uncharacteristic behavior. Nancy abruptly vanished without explanation, which investigators say is inconsistent with her personality and habits. Scene anomalies. Authorities have alluded to irregularities involving her last known location, though specifics have not been made public. Lack of digital trail. No financial activity, phone usage, or communication after her disappearance, an alarming sign in modern missing person cases. Taken together, officials say the evidence strongly suggests Nancy did not leave of her own free will. When adults go missing, we always start by asking whether they chose to leave, the sheriff explained. In this case, that theory doesn't hold up. Savannah Guthrie's family living a public nightmare. For Savannah Guthrie, one of the most recognizable faces in morning television, the ordeal has unfolded in the harsh glare of public attention. Though she has kept her public statements limited, those close to the family say the situation is devastating. This is every family's worst fear, a family friend said. And when you're a public figure, there's nowhere to hide from it. Colleagues at Today have reportedly rallied around Savannah, offering support as she navigates the unthinkable, waiting for news about a missing parent while the entire country watches. Search efforts intensify. With the investigation now treated as a possible abduction, law enforcement has expanded its search efforts. Multiple agencies are involved, and detectives are urging the public to remain vigilant. Authorities are reviewing surveillance footage from nearby businesses and roadways, re-interviewing potential witnesses, following up on tips pouring in from across the country. The sheriff emphasized that even small details matter, encouraging anyone who may have seen Nancy or noticed something unusual to come forward. One piece of information could change everything, he said. Community on edge. The case has sent shockwaves through the local community, particularly because of Nancy's age. Elderly abduction cases are rare, and especially alarming. Neighbors have described her as kind, alert, and socially active. She's not someone who would just vanish, one neighbor said. That's why this feels so wrong. Community members have organized informal search efforts and shared her photo widely on social media, hoping increased visibility could bring answers. Experts. Time is critical. Former investigators and missing person experts say the sheriff's assessment underscores the urgency of the situation. When law enforcement says someone didn't go willingly, that's a major escalation, one former detective explained. It means they believe the person is in danger, and time becomes the most critical factor. Experts also note that abductors often rely on silence and delay. Public awareness, they say, can disrupt that. Holding on to hope. Despite the fear and uncertainty, officials stress that the investigation is very much active, and that hope remains. We are not giving up, the sheriff said firmly. We are pursuing every lead, and we will continue until we find answers. For Savannah Guthrie and her family, those answers cannot come soon enough. As the search continues, the case stands as a sobering reminder that no family, famous or not, is immune to tragedy. And as investigators work tirelessly behind the scenes, a nation watches, hoping for the one outcome everyone is praying for, that Nancy Guthrie is found safe. Anyone with information related to Nancy Guthrie's disappearance is urged to contact local law enforcement immediately.